Welcome to my streams that I've been doing for Mental Health Awareness Week. My name is Heather and I'm the host of Sunshine and Power Cuts. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week here in New Zealand, and the Mental Health Foundation has created amazing resources and activities to do this week. The theme is Explore Your Way to Wellbeing. Today is day 3. We had on day 1 whenua, which is our connection to the land and the world around us and where we're from. And yesterday we had mental and emotional well-being, or taha tinanaro, and this morning or earlier today I did a stream of the mindful colouring activity that was provided as one of the activities for this week. So that was a nice fun. It was nice and relaxing and calming. And for today, for day 3, we're going to be looking at taha tinana, which is physical well-being. So we're looking at these elements and drawing them from a model called Te Whare Tapa Whā, which was developed by Sir Mason Jury back in 1984, I believe, or maybe earlier. It's been around for a long time anyway, and it's looking at our well-being holistically. Whenua is the foundation, and then the others make up the walls and the roof. It's important to look at all areas of our health and well-being. It's part of how we thrive in life, and it's not just physical ailments that can impact us, but we all have health and well-being, mental health, and so it's really good that this week is focused on that, talking about it and getting people involved. So Wednesday today, exploring physical well-being. I managed to go out for a walk after the last stream, and it was really good because it was in between rain showers, so it was nice to get some fresh air. It was nice to move. And on my journey, I managed to see some tui, which is a native bird here in New Zealand, feeding from a kōwhai tree. So that was beautiful. I tried to catch them, but they were kind of behind the leaves on the trees and behind the branches, but I got to hear them. They've got a really awesome call. And it was good to move, to get a change of scenery and just move your body. How movable or active or able we are is very different. But perhaps there's something that you could do today in this moment to move a little bit. So they explain here in the description of physical well-being that it's about how your body grows, feels, and moves, and how you care for it. It's just one aspect of your health and well-being. So we talked about nourishing your body and using the land for sustenance because you can grow vegetables and fruit, and the example was to go out and get fresh fruit and vegetables from a local farmer's market. I didn't make it to a farmer's market yet. Some towns have them on Fridays or Saturday mornings here in New Zealand. So perhaps I might not make it on Saturday morning because I'm heading to Wellington for Podcast Brunch Club, but maybe I'll be able to catch a Friday market or something, because it's really great getting fresh fruit and vegetables that I don't grow here and not the supermarket fare. I did say that yesterday I had a friend come and visit and we made lunch together, and that was amazing. So we got some ingredients out of my pantry and made a pasta dish. So after I go through sort of talking a little bit more about what's here in physical well-being, I'll share that recipe with you. So trying to nourish and strengthen your physical well-being will help you cope with the ups and downs of life. It helps get some air in. It helps pump the blood around your body. It's just gives you a sense of release, and it can help turn your energy that might be frustration into something else. Having strong taha tinana means we can be there for our whānau, take leadership in helping our loved ones live longer and healthier lives too. It's important to acknowledge that it might not be as good as you'd like it to be, and sometimes it can be beyond our control. What's important is how you take care of your tinana and what you can do to nurture it, regardless of your current abilities. So, exploring your way. Everything that we're looking at this week is about exploring it, trying new things, seeing what works for you, what doesn't. It's going to be different for everybody. And maybe it could be you make a commitment to your friends or your family or your colleagues to pick one thing that you could do to improve your physical well-being. Maybe that is going for a walk in your lunch break. Maybe it's taking the stairs. Maybe it's getting off the bus or stop earlier and walking. Maybe it is lifting something while you're sitting at your desk. Maybe it's getting a standing desk, if that's a possibility. Another one is about supporting. You could support one another if you're a smoker to quit smoking. Drink more water. That's really important. I know that amazing Emily Prokop of the Story Behind and ePodcast Productions has water reminders that she puts out on social media, which is amazing, to make you check in and see if you've had a drink and to remind you to take one. Having regular lunch breaks. Taking breaks, sometimes we feel like we have to work through, but it is important to stop and take a break because it helps refresh you as well, and you need some sustenance to keep you going. Eating fruit and veggies. Natural foods are good because then there's not the other stuff involved. I was telling my friend yesterday that I don't enjoy cooking all that much. I do it out of necessity, really. I've got a few staple recipes that I make. I make a really good lasagna, and I like making nachos, but sometimes I don't feel like cooking much. And the recipe that we made was pretty simple. It was basically boiling pasta and making a simple tomato sauce. So it was refreshing to have her input because she really enjoys working with food and creating things. But the idea is just to start small, do something, and keep working at it. One of the other points here, the second point, is look at how accessible your surroundings are for people who might be using wheelchairs or other mobility scooters. We looked at this for Podcast Brunch Club. Actually, it was a theme, and it was interesting to see where we were meeting up, whether that was accessible or not. Here in New Zealand, we have a building code that, insists that commercial buildings specifically have wheelchair access and are have those things in place when they're being built or before they're being built in the plans. Residential buildings don't need to if it's just a private home, but then others have them custom built to allow for the height. So when you're sitting in a chair, it's going to be different to someone who's standing. So they make things a different height, but also wider door frames and hallways and things like that. So, yeah, have a look at what kind of things in the places that you go to, how accessible are they for people. The third point there is about making physical activity fun and social. Maybe you could be a part of a social team, a sports team. Maybe you could go for walks with a friend. I know that there are some walking groups where, like, I think it's Tuesday nights, a bunch of people meet up at a certain point and they go for a walk together. Yeah. Get the family involved, the whānau involved, go for a walk after dinner, um, have a dance off, play tag with children, nieces, nephews. Take a bike ride to your favourite park with a picnic. Try out yoga or Tai Chi. I talked about doing yoga the other day. I haven't done it in a little while. But one of the things that I enjoyed was a long time ago, I got a Nintendo Wii and it has the fitness activity games on it. So I really enjoyed doing those and having the balance board and things like that. And when I was at university, I had some great gym. I had a gym membership as part of university, which was awesome and used to enjoy doing that. And then, yeah, played sports, played netball. And then now just mainly walking is what I fit in. So, yeah, try something. Challenge yourself. Just set a goal and try and work towards it. Have you ever wanted to run a half marathon? You could start slow and build up from a walk to a jog to longer bursts of running. But if running isn't your thing, there's heaps of other things to try. Swimming, wakaama, which is like type of rowing, dancing, something that makes you feel your best, basketball, rugby. Just have to drop that one in this week, otherwise it wouldn't be very Kiwi of me. Go the All Blacks. Try a body scan meditation as this point, the second point here. Notice where you might be holding tension. Yesterday I talked about, I think it was yesterday, about being in a high profile job and getting massages to try and release the tension from my shoulders because I was getting really bad migraines at work, and that helped. In the 7 Days of Sunshine challenge that I've created, day 3 is be still and listen, and in that one is a guided visualization, and it's about connecting with your breath and sort of walking you through noticing your body and releasing the tension. Could be a good thing to do at the end of the day to help you unwind and relax before you go to bed. Have you been to the doctor lately? If not, maybe consider going for a general checkup. Good time to check up to see where you're up to date with screening things, if screening programs. Here, I know that you have to book kind of in advance to go and see the doctor, so make an appointment time and then set an alarm or a reminder for you to go to it so you can get an appointment to see them. Maybe when you're learning about where you're from and your family and things like that from the whenua activities, maybe you could also tie in any health issues. So if you've got a family history of heart disease or other things like that, find out about that so you've got kind of like a medical record to go off and some information going forward in case things happen with you. And what kind of steps you can take to prevent or manage them. Then kai is food, nourishes your body. Take some time to prepare some healthy meals for the coming week. Check out YouTube for recipe ideas and demonstrations. Hold a MasterChef competition with your friends. I don't think I'll be doing that one, but I did enjoy making a meal with my friend. The recipe that we have was for spaghetti with a spaghetti pasta with a tomato sauce. So turn on a pan, add oil. You could, if you wanted to, use eggplant, and she suggested kind of peeling a few strips of the skin off because that's quite bitter, and then dicing it up into kind of similar sized cubes. Cook it until soft, or brown it and cook it till it's soft. Take it out from the pan and set aside. Then add half a diced onion. Cook until it's soft and add more oil as you're cooking if it looks dry. Add a glug of wine. A glug. We weren't using specific measurements. And cook the alcohol out of it, basically. Add in tomatoes. You could use fresh tomatoes, dice them up. I didn't have any fresh ones, but I did have a tin of canned tomatoes, so we used that. And then you could cook that for a few minutes till the tomatoes are kind of warmed up, and then add the eggplant back in if you're using eggplant. We didn't have any yesterday, but this was just a recipe that she suggested to use eggplant with. When you've added the eggplant, let it, or just when you've started cooking the tomatoes, just let it sit and kind of on a low heat to let it cook through. Don't stir it. Then get a big pot of boiling cold water, and set it on to boil. The time it takes for the cold water to boil lets the sauce cook for long enough so that it kind of reduces down and gets quite delicious. Put the lid on, obviously, to make it boil rapidly. When it is boiling, put in a handful of salt. If I can do this. She did a mound of salt in her hand. It was a lot of salt, but she said that the salt on the pasta would help sort of not make the pasta so bland, and it tasted quite good. Cook the pasta until it's like al dente, a little bit chewy, because it will still cook a little bit afterwards when you're taking the sauce off and putting it together. I used some pulse pasta that was made with like chickpeas and lentils and other things. It was really, really filling. Didn't need much, and the salt in the water did really help keep the flavor of the pasta, kind of. Have a colander ready, like a container to drain the water from the pasta. Tip that out, and then add the spaghetti pasta straight to the sauce. Toss it together, and you could add like grated cheese or Parmesan cheese on top, and maybe some fresh parsley. And voila, there you've got a spaghetti pasta with a basic tomato sauce meal. Yeah, it was delicious. I really enjoyed it. I was hungry because I had been quite busy in the morning, so I had a small bowl and then had a little bit more. But it was just nice to spend that time talking and smelling the aromas of the glug of wine and the tomatoes, and we put some garlic in, all cooking together. But yeah. When you're active, where does it take you? I've got friends who like to go tramping or hiking in the mountains. I've got people who like to play sports, and it takes them to competitions with other people, or just into the city to hang out with others. Where does it take you? What do you see along the way? Yeah. And then the reflections for today. This one is kind of a short session, really. What does taha tinana mean to you? What is your physical well-being like? Sometimes I move a lot. I have a Fitbit that I wear, and I really enjoy it because not only does it count my steps, but it keeps an eye on how much sleep I have. And it's good to know because you can see, you might know that you've moved or not moved a lot in a day, but it just helps give you a better picture of what that looked like. And mine has prompts to get up and move, which is handy. I like tracking my sleep and seeing how good and not so good that is. I have reminders set on my Fitbit for different intervals throughout the day as well. So not just it does a get up to try and meet a certain number of steps in an hour, or about 11 hours of the day, I think I've got it set at. And yeah, I really enjoy the little reminders. Sometimes it's easy to ignore them because life is busy, or I'm driving and I can't like get out and do anything. I did have a funny experience one time where I was traveling in a vehicle. I was in a passenger in it, and it was really bumpy, and my Fitbit actually counted that I did quite a few more steps than I'd physically done myself, which was funny. But when I do have a long road trip, I make sure that I take breaks because driving can be quite tiring, and I hop out and go for a walk in like certain points. It's really handy here in New Zealand. There's like a town every so often, so you can stop all along the journey if it's a really long one and visit a cafe or go for a walk along the waterfront or have a picnic in a park, do something to break up the journey. And so you're not sitting for too long. What activities did we try out today? Just some suggestions, really, on what you could maybe do for physical well-being. Let me know what you do for yours. Um, Finding ones that are fun and feel good. One thing that I think a question there I'd like to do more of, but I would like to try playing Beat Saber. I know that some people play that, and it's a very active virtual reality thing. It looks like fun. I know you can probably do that without the game, but it just looks like fun trying to move in time to the beat of the music. What made you feel good? I really enjoyed my walk today. I enjoyed getting out between the rain so I didn't get wet. There's nothing wrong with having a raincoat and gumboots or Wellingtons or galoshes or whatever you call them to keep your feet dry. But sometimes it's nice not to get too damp. Sometimes it's too hot also to get out. So swimming could be another thing you could do to move. That's one that's quite good for not putting too much pressure on your body. Aqua aerobics was a fun thing I used to do as well. And there was this time when my aqua aerobics class happened to be right before ballroom dancing. I was exhausted by the end. Felt so good. I was in the water and sort of getting quite flexible and then having fun dancing. A bunch of us, my friends and I, signed up for ballroom dancing lessons, and it was fun to learn the steps. And then when you go to functions, you can dance the few steps that I learned in that short amount of time. What didn't work for you? I think what happens or can happen is I get very busy, and sometimes maybe when you're feeling a little bit low, it's hard to get up and move, but that's then not trying to push yourself to do something that you're not going to enjoy anyway. Have a whole list of things that you do enjoy to be able to draw on when you're not feeling totally in the mood to do it. So what would I like to do more of? I would, depending on if the weather's like completely terrible, maybe I'll set up the Wii and give that a go. I'm hoping to get a few more walks in this week, and on the weekend I'll be down in Wellington, so fingers crossed for good weather down there as well, for exploring the city. How did you feel after spending today exploring Tahatinana? Good. I felt refreshed going outside and having a change of scenery. And I've noticed that on social media, a lot of people are using the hashtag MHAWNZ, which is Mental Health Awareness Week New Zealand. And they're sharing pictures from this week, a different picture each day for the theme of that day. So today with physical exercise, it's going to be really interesting to see what pictures are out and available that people are doing, getting out and about and engaging in today. Yesterday's pictures that I put up were of my 365 notebook and some soup that I had when I was journaling. Stopping and taking notice, I managed to capture a really beautiful flower that had sort of rain or dewdrops on it. And the other one was a seagull at the beach, was just standing there. So I managed to capture a photo of him. And I think there was one other. I'm not sure what the other one was. That might have been it. And then we did the mindful colouring earlier today. I really enjoyed that one too, but it was good to get up and move after that because that was an hour and a half of streaming. So sitting there for long periods of time, not so good. But it doesn't take much to go for a walk or to move in whichever way that you are able to move. Tomorrow's theme is going to be on family and social well-being. So we've talked about connections. I'm pretty passionate about connections, and some of those can be with your immediate family, they can be with your friends, they can be online, wherever you are. They can be as brief as the supermarket, as we said in Smiling. And hey, SP, thank you for popping by. Welcome to the stream. Hello. My hair is all fluffy and fuzzy from the humidity today. SP, do you have a certain day that you go to the gym? My schedule gets a bit mucked up sometimes, and I just have to fit it in when I can, physical exercise, but yeah. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays after work to the gym for SP. That's awesome. I used to go when I lived in the city. It's a little bit harder to get that far now. But I really enjoyed it when I did go. And I used to go to the gym, but I also went to some of the classes that they had. One of them was called Body Balance, and that one was really fun. SP does aerobic exercise on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Every day of the week is covered. Good. At the lake, you've brought your own dumbbells and weights and do a home gym workout. That's cool. I have weights here as well. I use them from time to time. Sometimes I fill up containers of water if dumbbells or weights aren't handy, and you can lift those. Elastic bands are quite handy for stretching. Well, there's all sorts of things that you can do to make a home gym and to work out and exercise. Skipping. I've got a skipping rope. I haven't pulled that out in a little while. Maybe I should give that a go. SP uses the Bowflex dumbbells, which are very versatile and compact. Awesome. Yeah, I haven't jumped rope it's been less than decades for me, but I haven't jumped rope in a little while. I used to run as well. I haven't been running for a long time. Physical well-being is obviously something I need to work on a lot more and get fit. Yeah. How does it make you feel when you work out, SP? Run, Heather, run. Did I tell you the story, SP, how when I buy new shoes, I test out whether you can run in them or not? And it's because my mum said to me when I was little, she was very, very cautious, and she just said that if you're going to buy shoes, you may as well be able to run in them. Oh dear. Thanks, Mum. When you are, that brings me to a point is that be safe when you are exercising. Like, don't push your limits too hard. Maybe seek advice if you are at the gym. Maybe not necessarily a personal trainer because they might be a cost, or maybe that's something you do want to do. But get advice on how to do activities correctly with correct posture and things, because otherwise you could do more damage than it's worth. SV said sometimes he's very tired after work, or after you work out. You don't get the post-workout high like you used to, but working out does give you more energy overall. Yeah, it's funny. You might feel tired, but the more energy you expend, the more energy you kind of have. And you'll always run in new shoes now. Test them out. Take them. I mean, you pace around the shop for like, what, 2 seconds to see if they're comfortable and they fit and they're the right size and things, but go for a quick jog and see how they feel in case you need to get away from something or there's an emergency. I don't know. Random tips from Heather. But yeah, definitely make sure you're safe while you're doing it. Keep hydrated while you're exercising. It's really important. I think gyms might have a thing where you have to have a towel to dry yourself up. Okay, when you get running shoes, you do run in them before purchasing. Do they have like those treadmill things that you can run on to sort of see the fit? They measure things. Clean off the machines after use at the gym. Yeah, have good etiquette when you go to the gym. Respect other people's space, but also the equipment. And I'm guessing with your own, you would want to make sure that it's in good condition and safe to use. Hydrate, but definitely hydrate. With your exercising or not, hydrate. keep drinking water. Okay. So most local stores let you run on a short track or right outside the store on the sidewalk. That's awesome. I know that we have a certain place here that will help you actually find the correct shoe for your foot in the way that you do run and walk. Don't drink the ocean water. No, possibly not a good idea. Thanks for that, SP. I haven't been swimming in the ocean in a very long time. Yeah. Just trying to think if I had any interesting things coming up in terms of exercising or walks. Apart from my trip to explore Wellington on the weekend, I really like that because you can park somewhere and then walk for miles around the city. And I'm just hoping for good weather to do that because it's just a little bit less fun when it's not so good weather. But I was pleased to get outside today to have some fresh air and to see the tui in the tree. That was really beautiful. Yeah, hiking. Hiking is the main thing. I think my mum was supposed to go on a trip with some friends of hers recently. I'll have to catch up with her. I haven't talked to her for a little bit and see how that went. But she really likes to do that as well. Camping is something I want to do in the summer. I want to go out camping, so probably somewhere where there are walks to do around the campsite would be fun. Kayaking is another thing that I really enjoy. It scares me, to be honest. I've kayaked down some rivers and fallen out. Got sort of caught went off a sort of a bit of a, not a waterfall, but like a dip in the river and ended up tipping upside down. But again, knowing what to do to be able to right yourself or pull the skirt off so you can get out. But kayaking is a lot of fun because it's really a really pretty way to see the scenery around the river. SP has some kayaks at the lake. They are more unstable than I remember, but extremely easy to navigate in. Yeah. It's a lot easier to paddle a kayak than it is like a dinghy, a boat. I remember my granny had a yacht and she had a dinghy that you'd row out to the yacht in, and it was just really hard. We had one person on each oar, but whereas with the kayak you can just the paddles are on either end of the one bar, which is awesome. But I've been down some pretty cool rivers and seen some really different things. You're in the river looking up as opposed to if there's a road alongside it and looking down. It's really cool getting a different perspective that way. Row. Paddle, row, row your boat. Too far. I want to go up the mountain. There's I'm obviously missed probably the snow for this year in the wintertime, but maybe next winter I want to go and see Mount Ruapehu, and when the snow is there, that would be awesome. I went up and went skiing when I was in Canada. I really enjoyed that. Well, more ice skating there. But yeah, it was fun. It was a weird winter this year. I don't actually know how good the ski season was in New Zealand. Heather is not going to be on the next New Zealand Winter Olympics team. Nope, she's not going to make it. But thank you, SP. If you do come over for the Winter Olympics, though, that would be awesome. I got to see the preliminary thing of the big boat that Team New Zealand has for the yachting. It's incredible these days with the foils they have on the bottom that makes them fly through the water. It's totally different from back in the day when I used to watch sailing as a kid, because my granny had a yacht, but also because it just seemed to be a really big event when the America's Cup, especially when they were hosted here in New Zealand. I get seasick, but I still enjoyed going out on the yacht with my granny. It was awesome. I didn't learn all of the things about how to how to sail, but yeah. um, yeah. I didn't really have much else prepared for this one because it was a pretty basic one, talking about physical well-being. I guess it's basic. I don't know. Um, Team New Zealand's yacht. Where is that being held? Is it here again? And how far away is the race? Oh, is it not till 2021? Seems like a long way away. It says America's Cup will begin on Saturday, the 6th of March, 2021, and ends on Sunday, the 21st. Good gracious. Well, they've got a yacht, so hopefully that's something. And just lost all my screens. Here we go. SP said it's America's Cup after all. Snicker. Fair enough, SP. What does it say? The 36th America's Cup presented by Prado's Cup upcoming. It will be contested by the winner of the 2017 America's Cup, the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. Oh, it is going to be here, the Waitemata Harbour. Here you go. Tangent on sailing. Thanks, SP, for coming by. I really appreciate you coming to hang out with me. I'm looking forward to. Are you recording tomorrow? The episode, is it 200? For Better Podcasting? Yeah. It's amazing. Cool. I'm hoping to be able to make that one live. Looking forward to celebrating that with you. It's been an amazing resource, and I've learned a lot from you, so thank you for that. I think what you guys do with Better Podcasting to help other podcasters, probably with you've focused on well-being in one of your episodes and keeping yourself healthy so that you're able to record and do all those things. So I don't have the episode number for that on hand. I just thought of it. So maybe I'll leave a link to that in the show notes or the description of this video so that if anyone finds it and is a podcaster, they can check that resource out. We've got International Podcast Day at the end of the week, which is exciting. Well, it's the beginning of next week, really. And yeah, going to be talking about community for my segment. And that's a part of having part of your well-being, I guess, for when you're a podcaster, is having a good community that you're a part of, feeling supported and building your own around what you do. Yeah. Short and sweet, this one. Yeah. Thank you for coming by. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, SP, and hope you have a good rest of your night. Everyone else, let me know what you do for your physical well-being. Check in with yourself. Oh, it's episode 143 of Better Podcasting was the one on being healthy and your well-being with podcasting. Thanks, SP. I will link that officially in the description of this one as a resource. And it's called Personal Health Affects Your Podcast. Which is so true. Cool. Let me know and share the activities that you do. I would love to hear from you. If you capture a photo this week of you out and about exercising, tag me. That would be fun. And until next time, which is we're going to be looking at family and social well-being. Till next time, be empowered by nature.